You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at CreativeMediaMonterey.com. Yo, it's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, King Stabler, and joined as always by
boy Che.
What's happening, Che?
What's good, brother?
And special shout out, we got a sit-in visitor tonight.
Yeah.
By the name of Silver and Black 666. Say what's up.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up? What's going on out there? Pillagers, everybody out there in Raider Nation.
How you feeling? How you feeling, people?
How you feeling right now, Che?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit better now.
A little bit better. Now that we've talked about it.
Yeah, we've had some time to take it all in.
And then the aftershock.
The aftershock, yeah.
The ripple effects.
The ripples, all that stuff.
I feel like we're getting into it. Should we just get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's get it. It's the NFL Draft, 2018 NFL Draft. The Raiders just traded down to number 15 with Arizona to grab Kolton Miller, offensive tackle out of UCLA, correct?
Out of UCLA, yeah.
So Kolton started his last 2 years at right tackle and left tackle. He's played both positions, started at both positions. Mm-hmm. And when that trade went down, we weren't really feeling the funk, were we?
We weren't. We were definitely at a loss for words. I would say best describes us in that moment. At a loss for words.
But then we found out.
Yeah.
They got a third and fifth rounder out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then they dealt that third rounder to Pittsburgh Steelers for wide receiver Martavis Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ungoddamn believable.
A lot of mixed feelings about this right now. I'm on Twitter. I'm on the YouTube chat. I'm on our chat. I should probably get off all these chats. But I'm seeing a lot of love. I'm seeing a lot of hate. So we're going to talk about this in further detail in the second half of the show. We're going to bring on Raider Kane for an extended segment. There is no featured guest this week. So it's really the crew sitting in studio here, and we're just breaking down this first round for you.
Got our featured guest right here, bro.
Well, he said he didn't want to be a guest. He just wanted to be a part of the crew.
Well, he is part of the crew, but he's also featured.
He's absolutely a guest. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So sitting back here, Silver and Black 666, in the middle of the quick hit segment, I should have expounded upon this in the intro. Yeah. But I wanted to point out that in a lot of ways, 666 is the executive producer for a lot of what we do, both the blog and the podcast. He's contributed a lot, and I've told the story before, so I'll talk about it a little bit after this. Let's get back to the quick hits.
Yes.
But I would have been remiss if I
Make them
didn't say
quick.
something. Quick
hits.
Real fast. And then the Raiders earlier this week. I'm too many chats right now. Can you tell I'm distracted?
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier this week, the Raiders picked up the 5th-year option on Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Not a big surprise.
Nope.
And then the Raiders signed quarterback Daryl Worley.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
All right. Let's talk about him.
So how do you feel about it? Worley got caught up in a little bit of funk last year.
Yeah, a little bit of funk. I think he was found drunk in his car, maybe asleep, passed out in his car.
Asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
I know one of your favorite bands all time. 666 actually did studio vocals on their very last album. Played a little bit of conga.
Oh, there you go.
I snored.
So John Gruden and Reggie McKenzie, they go out there, they snag themselves another corner, another guy that's, I want to say bottom of the pile, but a guy that wasn't really getting sniffed or anything like that. Possibly not a boom or a bust, but a productive, or we didn't really lose that much money. I saw today he was signed for like $650,000, so that's a prove it or lose it deal. It's camp competition.
Yep.
At this moment.
Well, I mean, I've heard some positive things about him as far as his play goes. There's people that are really high on his play. Of course, with the recent incident, that kind of leaves a lot of questions. Is this guy going to do some time? What's going on with him? But we trust the Raiders to do their due diligence, right?
Yeah.
And make sure that that they're taking on not troublesome players.
Right.
Right? Unlike our neighbors.
Well, it's different. Yeah, it's different when you're young and you've had one mistake, right?
Yeah. And I think the other positive here is this is a former teammate of Carl Joseph.
Yeah.
They played together
Out of West Virginia.
Virginia, and we also have another West Virginia alum, Bruce Irvin.
That's right. That's
So
true.
you got a veteran and you got a teammate, a guy that knows him. Hopefully, those are enough influences to get this guy back on the right track, and make him productive.
a little bit of family there. They said they did their due diligence, and
Yep.
those guys vouched for him. Well, at least Joseph, who knows him well, and Irvin reached out and talked to him as an alum, right? As you were saying, and they're certain. Or closer to certain, more optimistic than anything, that this was a slip up for Worley, and they're giving the guy a second chance. I mean,
Hey.
Gruden said it himself in the press conference. It was actually a really interesting press conference. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch that, I don't know why you haven't, but you should. Right after the end of this show, of course. We don't want you leaving us.
Yeah, don't leave right now.
Yeah, don't leave right now.
That'd just be silly right now.
In fact, I told you we have a guest. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. John Gruden in the second hour. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Anyways, yeah. So Daryl Worley again, another camp body there. Some more competition. Hopefully, he sees the field. Maybe people feel a little bit better about the nickel position, or maybe that's just because of Conley, who's actually out there running. Seems to be actually progressing now.
But the word is that he's still not at 100%.
Still not at 100%.
So why not have a little bit of extra men there?
Yeah.
To just in case.
Right. So yeah, already alluded to it. The first mini camp already happened this week.
Yep.
They had video screens out at a practice.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a telling of our day and age, right?
Yeah.
Technology is
So
big.
So John Gruden goes on and he says, "I'm going to take things back to 1998." The media jumps on it immediately. So, oh my God, everyone starts freaking out. Read too much into it, and yet we got flat screen projection. At practice.
Yeah. I hope they did their due diligence in making sure that they're weather protected.
I think
Sprinklers hit them with the sprinklers. That shit's all jacked up.
Well, what I saw is they had taken the tarps down from the A's games and the Raiders.
Shit.
Well, the Raiders games, and they got the tarp
There you go.
over the screens.
Just
But
cover it.
Yeah, at night the grounds crew goes
They got
out.
a grounds crew out there putting tarps over the TVs.
So they asked players about it. They asked Gruden about it, and he said things are a little bit hectic right now because they're running two huddles at the same time. But he feels like once it gets into more streamlined type practice situation, that's really going to be helpful. You can come back to the sideline and rewatch. He said it used to take us an hour, so we're saving time.
Yeah.
The schedule that they have is such a crunch that they got to be more efficient.
It's true.
So what I see it as is a surefire sign that Gruden hasn't lost touch with the game, and he is really going to cherry pick some of the best ideas he's seen out there. And in fact, at the very end of that press conference, he said that he picked it up from Harbaugh in Michigan.
Yeah.
And he did the mic drop. Thank you, Harbaugh.
He's out. Thank you, Harbaugh. Bye.
Yeah. And he was out. He was out.
So in
I like
areas where the union may have contracted the amount of time that a coach can spend with the player, Gruden's getting creative to find ways to spend more time with players.
Yeah.
There you go.
And get things done in a more efficient manner. I think you're right. It's a positive sign.
And it's just a window into how his mind works, right? He's always crunching every possible angle to find out what's the most efficient way to do things. That's a shower thought right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'll tell you what, man, that Harbaugh, he's pretty sharp.
He's got a good idea there.
He's a smart guy.
Coach Gruden, you made it.
I told you. So the other thing that we saw was Gruden's intensity. Jordy Nelson and Derek Carr were both interviewed, and they said, what's amazing about him is his energy and the fact that he's able to sustain it. I got a feeling that this guy's not going to taper off.
Oh, hell no.
So
Hell
even at what? How old is he now? 58?
I think that sounds about right to me.
Is he really that old?
That's about right to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I haven't been checking his age.
Yeah.
Man. I'm just making sure as long as he can walk.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I forget.
I'm good one.
I forget right now. And his voice sounded pretty good in the press conference, a little bit hoarse.
Yeah.
And
That's a good sign.
that is a good sign.
Because he's getting on motherfuckers.
So we're checking off another box. People said, is Gruden going to be as intense? I said it myself. Or is he going to be a mellowed out, Disney ESPN version of John Gruden? He's not that.
He did say that his language has changed. That he's matured language wise.
Okay.
So his choice of words maybe has matured, improved a little bit, but the energy, no.
Yeah,
no, he's still bringing it.
I'm fine with that. You know,
hell yeah.
As long as the intensity is in your voice, because I could be saying the same things, but like with a different intonation.
There you go.
It's gonna be it's gonna hit you differently.
There you go.
Like I can come at you like this or if I'm like,
Yo, you better be listening to the Pillaging podcast.
you might want to listen to the Pillaging podcast.
There you go.
I'm scared.
That's
You know?
it. Yeah.
But if I walk on the field, I'm like,
Come on, guys. It's time to get scared. It's time to practice. I want everybody doing their absolute best, okay?
you might not be as motivated.
No, I wouldn't be motivated by that at all, man.
So I mean, I'm just trying to prove a point.
Yes.
You know, as long as the intensity's there,
Points taken, man.
okay.
I get it.
So, like I said, Jordy and Carr were both interviewed. They've obviously been working together. Sounds like there's some timing issues there, but neither one of them seem nervous about it. Typical, right?
That's why we have practice, bro.
Yeah.
That's why we have practice. Got to get familiar with each other.
And you got to figure, you know, the Carr's got a good work ethic. Jordy has to have a good work ethic. He's used to very efficient, hard practices. You don't get to be a guy like Aaron Rodgers without being a perfectionist.
Yep.
So I would imagine that they're going to learn from each other. Carr does things differently. So, therefore, Jordy's going to learn some things. Even at his age, he's going to learn some things. And at the same time, he's going to be bestowing stuff on Carr, both how he likes the ball and, hey, this is kind of how we did it back in Green Bay. Let's try this out. Right. And Carr's going to learn from that. This he's like a sponge, you know what I mean?
There you go.
So he just soaks everything up. I'm a man of a million voices tonight.
You
I
are,
like it.
bro. You are. I like it.
So Carr did speak on Mac, actually. Spoke on Khalil Mack.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So what did he say? What did he say about Mac? He's been texting. He's been calling.
He put it like this, okay? And this is, I think, the only way he should put it, right? He's letting them know that he's there, that they're still on his side, they're still with him. You know, even if he's not on the field, they're still, he's still part of the family, still part of the team, and they want him back. They want to see him back soon. But obviously, he's not going to step on any man's foot as far as his money goes. That's the key point, right?
What was Khalil Mack's response to that?
I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that.
All right. I was hoping you would come up with a response there. Just trying to tee you up.
I'll come up with it.
I think just picture at this point in the offseason without his contract, Khalil Mack, he's stewing a bit.
Right.
You know, he's got this intimidating voice, maybe on the phone with Carr.
He's like, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks, Carl. I'll get back as soon as these motherfuckers figure out my contract.
Something like that. Something like that. A little bit of intensity.
There you go.
Again,
There you go.
intensity. And lastly, the vets in camp practice making a big impact. So beyond Jordy Nelson, other vets in there. I mean, a guy like Reggie Nelson was alluded to. Where I got the illusion was Carr was talking about the efficiency in practice right now. He's like, it did not feel like a day one, right?
Yeah.
That was the exact quote.
Yeah.
And he said there's vets here that are helping get the system in place, people that are familiar with the system. There's nobody there that's familiar with John Gruden's system. The only people that are there that are familiar with any system are guys that played under Paul Gunther. Right. So we're talking about the Bengals, the vets that we brought in on defense. Those are the guys we're talking about. And if that means that the defense is this far along, well, I won't say this far along like they're close to finish, but if they're getting off on a good foot, that's a great sign, because even going back the last 3 years and watching games again, I still can't figure out what the hell we were doing on defense. And I wasn't even on the field.
Yeah.
And so another allusion to that was John Gruden talking about he feels good with the Gunther scheme and having those guys in place to pick it up. So he kind of reaffirmed, you know, what Carr said. And then he went on to say that he feels like under Gunther's scheme, it's going to be better than having a dial of defense. That was his quote.
It's pretty much what we had, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Let's see if this works. Let's try this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Irvin, like,
This shit again.
so. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much this week in Raiders, I'd say.
Yeah, that's about it.
So let's talk about you a little bit, 666, before we go to break. Way back, I think it was in October-ish of 2016. I came to your house, sat at your kitchen table, and what did we talk about?
Well, we wanted to save the blog.
Yeah.
We felt like it was gone. And I think a lot of people have come together because of the blog over the years. And so there was a sense of camaraderie. And I felt like we were we were going to save it, and I felt like you were the right man to captain the ship.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Right, Shay?
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, man.
I came into the blog kind of late, like halfway. I'd say halfway through its history, not so much late, but after the fact. A lot of you guys were there holding it down, and this was a website. It was not an independent website. It was Bay Area news site, written, writers Corcoran, McDonald, and so forth on there. And we had that community.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. Bought out by Mercury News. We kind of saw the writing on the wall, and we were right. Turns out we were right.
Yeah.
And they were wrong.
Yeah, and this is just so much fun for me. I mean, that to me is just all about just having a good time.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the community out there. And we'll be out in D lot and A lot this year. So come find us and find out what we're really about. This is more than just a podcast. This is just one facet of a community we have. If you're a fan of the podcast, we appreciate you. We welcome you into that community. You are an extended member of that community. But this is only one side of it.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Got a great group of people that have all come together. Let's hope that the team comes together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Camp is still in Napa. We probably have some eyes up there. We usually have a couple folks that go.
Yeah.
That'd be a good place maybe to meet some folks as well from the blog. We should all get together for a day up in Napa.
Yeah, take a little trip up to Napa.
It'd be nice.
Slug back some Cabernets,
There you go.
some Charles Woodson wine.
There you go, Charles Woodson wine, bro.
Yeah.
You got to get some of that.
Yeah.
We got to get a bottle on here.
That's where we need to be at.
That's it, man.
Is that winery right there.
That's
So
Dutch territory.
yeah, our boy Dutch lives up there. Yeah, I was actually just up in Sonoma a couple weeks ago doing the wine thing and with the lady, and was supposed to meet up with Dutch, but it just didn't happen. So that would be a nice reason to get back there. Absolutely, Dutch training camp.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I know you guys are as well.
I am too. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get into camp this year, but I'm down to go up there and for a little retreat and meet up with some brothers and talk Raiders and. And for those of us that we know that are going, we'll just sit at the bar and keep it warm for y'all and pick your brain when you get back. That sounds like a plan to me.
That's it.
You know what else sounds like a plan is listening to your phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
Getting back on the air.
Because we got a lot of them.
We got a lot.
How fun.
Absolutely. So we're gonna listen to those calls. We're gonna come back. We're gonna give you our reactions and Raider King.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Hey, Pillaging people, happy draft day. It's your buddy JFB chiming in from the Oakland airport here on a little vacation. We'll go trifle out in Sacramento for a little bit. Great weather. Great time to be here. Draft day. Always exciting. I feel like these NFL GMs and owners, besides like the first week of free agency and draft weekend, it's the only time they ever get to do anything. The other 80% of the time, they just sit there and watch their hopes go to shit because their team's 3-6 or loses in the playoffs or whatever it is. So this is the time they get to act wild out. And I just Reggie would take advantage of it. I mean, these guys are idiots sometimes, these general managers. They're like, 8th best running back in the NFL? I'll take a 4th round pick and I'll draft a backup guard. Like, why don't we just give him a backup guard and we'll take the 4th best running back or 8th best, whatever the hell I just said. It's just way too easy. But Reggie, he kind of strikes me as the guy. He's the guy on the Vegas vacation that just lives vicariously through everyone and doesn't do anything. Hold up, guys. I'm going to put $40 on red. Everyone watch. And that's just one bet. So Reggie might do one thing. He'll trade it from the 3rd to the late 2nd or something. But damn it, Reggie, get out there. Go to the strip club. Make it rain. Bet all over the board. Play some blackjack. Put in a $100 parlay. Live a little. Go Raiders.
Hey, guys. What up, Raiders? Looks like we got a lot of good choices on the board here for defense with Tremaine Edmonds, Derwin James, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Marcus Davenport. I'd be happy with any of those 4 players. Let's go Raiders. What's up, Raider fans? Just calling in one more time from the great state of Missouri. Raiders traded back to pick 15. I think it's got to be, I'm looking at the available players here. Tremaine Edmonds, Derwin James. If we stay with defense, if we go offense, maybe Calvin Ridley. So that's what I'm thinking. Go Raiders.
This is Don coming from Queens, New York, Greater Nation. I know people are upset about this tackle that we just picked up, but we gotta remember, they're part of the nation, they're part of the family. Let's not boo. Let's go represent. One love.
Good morning, Kenny. 10 to 3 almost in London. In Reggie, I trusted. Enjoy the rest of the draft. Bye.
Wow, man. So excited. We were sitting there at 10, and my boy, I've been pounding his name all week. Minka Fitzpatrick was sitting there. We trade back, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe we'll pick up Edmund or James or, impact defensive player Josh Jackson, Kolton Miller. I don't know, man. I mean, I know the right tackle position was bad. I know Donald Penn is hurt. But, again, I'm no expert, but I'm reading that Kolton Miller was, 31st best player on Maniac's draft board. Why didn't we just trade back one more time to get this guy? And get the alignment, they weren't, not a lot of good ones. And then when Denver got Chubb, maybe Gruden and McKenzie just reached. But, man, defense needs some players. But, I'm sure we'll get over this. The season isn't started yet, but I don't like trading back when we could have had, I believe, a real future stud in Minka Fitzpatrick and then passing on Edmund and James. We haven't signed Bowman. We still need a linebacker. So many question marks. Man, a little disappointing. I'm going to say I'm disappointed. I'm not going to have a full-blood meltdown, but I'm definitely disappointed to get this guy at 15. Especially with the reports coming out that we would draft a tackle. I kind of laughed at that, but, I guess we'll see this thing play out. Anyways, go Raiders. Hopefully we can do better in the next few days, and hopefully that 3rd and 5th rounder that we pick up, are some studs. But right now it's a little of a Debbie Downer.
Kenny, Jay, Kane. What? I don't know. My words are just. I can't fathom what I just heard at the 15th pick. That guy over there won. Coming to you from the wonderful state of Illinois. My friend is happy you got Roquan Smith. As a Bears fan, he should be. I wanted Tremaine Edmonds, but instead we got a left tackle, and of course, Tom fucking Cable was the guy to. When was he able to get called a shot? I don't understand. That's the question. I hope Gruden rightfully trusts this guy. Especially after what happened with the Seahawks and how that line was abysmal, leaving absolutely no run game to even support Russell Wilson. I don't understand. All right. Hopefully the next round we can get something good, some value picks. Of course, Rashad Penny. That's the running back I want. Defenders, I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, and first time listener, first time caller. Love your podcast, and have a good one.
What up, Pillagers? This is Big Ted 707 calling in to talk about this draft. Pretty disappointed in the first round. Had about 5 or 6 defenders that I thought were pretty sure picks. Was really hoping we didn't go this route, but I understand it's a need. We don't want Brino out there. We don't want Carr getting hurt. Still feel like we could have got a better value in the first round. Anyways, maybe next year if we're drafting in the top 10 again, we'll do better. Anyways, hope you guys are doing good. Love the podcast. Talk to you soon.
What's up, Raider brothers? It's Homer. Well, a little bit of a surprise taking a tackle, but I guess it really isn't. The $100 million coach wants to protect his $100 million quarterback. Kind of a no-brainer. A few of you guys saw that. We've been adding pieces throughout the roster. Maybe he has faith in some of these defensive players that have been drafted. Let's hope so. Let's hope that Gunther can get these guys going. Anyhow, still got some good picks left. You never know. We might move around now. Looks like Gruden is definitely involved with this draft because that pick had him written all over it. That wasn't a Reggie move at all. That was John Gruden. I'm going to embrace it. He's a Raider now. And let's hope he becomes a great left tackle. We don't know. He's got the measurables. Big guy, very athletic. Seems like he has some flaws, but who doesn't? And I'm sure he fits into what Cable wants to do. So let's just hope for the best. Let's just hope that we get somebody in the second that's the best player available in the biggest area of need. And let's re-sign Navarro Bowman. Let's not mess around no more. We got to get that guy back. If we weren't able to land one of the linebackers, it's a necessity to get our leader back. I mean, all he did was just hustled and showed leadership. I mean, that Kansas City game was unbelievable. I enjoyed that game thoroughly. And he came in there on a couple days practice and just ran that defense to perfection. So please, let's get Navarro back. And with that, I'm out. Go Raiders!
Kenny K, it's 303. All right, this is the post. We got Martavis Bryant phone call because when I first called in, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't all that excited about Kolton Miller. But the fact that the third ended as Martavis Bryant, I mean, the bottom line is you can say what you want, and Miller was a repeat 15. We all know that, but the offense, as of right now, is better. Bryant is dynamic. Yes, he's one suspension or one hit of the chronic away from being suspended again, but I mean, we always criticize Reggie for not doing a big, bold move. Well, with Gruden there, you can see, you know, it's a little bit riskier, but man, Martavis Bryant, 6'5", ran a 4.40. The dude is electric. So if he's focused, you see Cooper, Bryant, Nelson, Cook, beast mode, and I've got a feeling that we're going to take a running back, you know, in the second or third round. I also see us going DT and defensive tackle first, and then also get another corner. Man, offense is better. That's the bottom line after Thursday. The offense is better, and our offense is going to look deadly. Super pumped now after I've had a minute to think about it. A few drinks after that Miller pick, but I think after the Bryant trade, offense is looking much better. This is 303. I'm out.
Hey, what's up, Pillagers? This is Kent. Yeah, man, I really wanted to say a big thank you to Kenny, the Pillaging Podcast, for having Phil Filippiano on, bro. That, for me, you know, I guess I'm getting to be an older Raider fan. But for me, yeah, man, that was an interview to have. We can get some more like that. It's only the sky's the limit to the podcast. And then let me go to the Raiders' first pick. And, you know, I had to say the positive before I say the negative. You know, we was planning on taking tackle. The 49ers took him before we had an opportunity to, so we traded back. Okay, that don't mean you go pick up the second best tackle, bro. We could have got that nigga in the third round. Use my language. But man, and then to see Tremaine Edmonds go right after that, bro, who I wanted anyway. Ask Kenny, I've been saying that's who I wanted for a minute. It's just so frustrating to see the players that I want, like, go right after we pick, for example, Megatron. Yeah, man. But it is what it is. They wanted a tackle in the first round so bad that they took a third round talent in the first. I can't say that that's a good draft pick to me. Because we could have got him. He wasn't going nowhere. Wasn't nobody else going to get him. So it is what it is. It's your boy Jen. I'll holler at y'all. Love you. Bye.
And we're back. So we heard from some of your guys' calls. We're going to comment on that. JFB with probably the call of the night, tied with Gent.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed both those calls.
Yeah.
JFB calling out the safe betting Reggie. He's the guy that goes to Vegas, lives vicariously through his friends, maybe pulls on the slot 1 or 2 times, but he doesn't want to drop too much money. Him and the wife got to go shopping this weekend. Bed Bath & Beyond. They don't know if they have time.
And they got an outlet center out there in Vegas, bro.
And he's right. Every once in a while, you just gotta let it out, Frank the Tank, and go gamble big.
JFB has a point, but he played it safe this year. He's gotten some slam dunk guys. Nothing real risky though, but there was a trade back. You flip the 3rd rounder for Martavis Bryant. That's a little pizzazz, I guess. It depends on how you feel about Bryant. And there's mixed feelings out there. And we'll talk to Kane about his feelings on Martavis Bryant because we kind of already know. But I think we need to let the people know, and he wants to let the people know.
If you're following him on Twitter, you know already too.
Yeah, exactly. Podunk, man, I heard your call. You must be really disappointed right now. You called in a little early, and you listed pretty much all defense. Hey, man, you're not the only one. Those of you that were listening to all the calls during the live stream, you already heard it. Those of you listening along at home, you already heard it. And the disappointment seems to be a theme. Mojo, I think that was Mojo. I didn't hear him drop his name, but also sounded a bit disappointed. But he's going to roll with it. It's the Raiders. I was texting with him earlier. And he's kind of like fingers crossed mode right now. Wasn't a big fan, but hopefully it all works out. Don from Queens, New York represented well on this podcast.
Yeah.
Big shout out to New York.
Yeah, big shout out, man. Big shout out. We're picking up more and more of them.
Yeah,
more and more followers from the East Coast. It's good.
I like
That's
that.
Good.
We had Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago, Illinois
too. Yeah, Chicago. Shout out Chicago.
But down with the one positive call, man. I think that's really the tone it's got to be. It's Raider Nation. You got to pick this guy up now. Kolton Miller's a member of the nation now, and we got to roll with it.
Yeah.
You got to support this guy. You just got drafted to a team. You're logging on to Twitter, and everyone's just boo-booing you. I don't know what that feels like, man. I don't want to know what that feels like. Right. And I'm not saying you should just be soft on him so you don't hurt his feelings. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just pointing out that's got to suck for him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
definitely, man.
So I'm kind of with Don on this. I was disappointed too. It's not a sexy pick. We'll talk more about it later. But Don, thanks for trying to pick up the nation. London Al called in, stayed up to almost 3:00 in the morning for this draft.
You're a champ, man.
So he's mega disappointed. He's a real one. And we just wanted to point out, he said in Reggie he trusted.
Yeah.
That was past tense.
Yeah, past tense.
So, yeah, more disappointment. Gent, by the way, you're absolutely welcome, man. We had a long conversation on the phone the other day, and trust me, the pleasure was all mine. The Phil interview didn't really even hit me until a couple hours later, and I was like, damn, that just happened?
Yeah.
Damn, he just said that?
Yeah.
Because he said some stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I was blown away by that. If you're new to the show and you haven't gone back and listened to Phil's interview last week, please do so. Not for us. Do it for him. Yeah. You're going to agree with some of the stuff he says. You're going to be blown away by some of the stuff he says. You might even disagree with some of the thing he says, but you're going to listen to everything he says. You're going to hinge on every word. He's called the voice of the Raiders for nothing. Yeah. He's also called Foo.
Yeah. That's right. Foo.
But yeah, Jen, again, I know you had your guys in the first round you wanted. You knew how much I liked James. He was sitting right there. And, so I feel you. I'm sure me and you are going to talk about this more offline. So, new caller, didn't catch your name, but wow, that was an emotional phone call.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got some emotional phone calls this week, man.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Right. He was really in his feelings though.
Yeah.
I want you to call back. Bring that emotion to every show. Not that particular emotion, but emotion.
But emotion.
With a capital E.
That level of emotion.
There you go.
We liked it right there. Big Ted, man, always like seeing you out at the games. You got a fantastic beard, of all things. Big Ted's beard games at some point.
Yeah.
At some point. Thanks for calling in. Didn't hear much optimism in your voice either.
No. But he's a happy guy if you meet him in person.
Yeah, he's a real happy guy in person. I got to say that. The nation right now mourning just a little bit. A little bit. Shout out to everybody out there in YouTube land playing along with us. Again, you can watch this stream live right now every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We may be moving the show to a different day and time.
Stay tuned.
Okay. But
that has to do with Kenny's new job.
I got a new job, bro.
Yeah.
I started a new job this week. I was boots on the ground on Tuesday. Nice. My first minute on a job, I walk into a pro studio. I was like, I didn't know we did this.
Yeah. That was right up your alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one facet of my job.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I won't be doing the recording and whatnot, but it's a program we have, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I won't talk too much about it. It's a city job, so we'll leave work at work.
That's it.
We'll do that. So we're gonna take a short break right now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come back for Kane's Corner. And we're having an extended Kane's Corner because we got a lot to talk about. We saved pretty much all the talk. This has all been relatively small talk.
Oh yeah,
up until
this is real small talk.
Oh yeah,
we're about to get into it, folks.
It's gonna get a little fiery up in here.
Any of you guys have anything to say about the callers before we get out of here?
No, man. Hey, keep them coming, man. We appreciate all the calls. Yeah, we had some depressed sounding calls this week, but we appreciate all the calls, man. So keep them coming.
Yeah,
we love it.
We love it. It's been a lot of calls the last few weeks, and we want to keep it that way. Every week, we're hearing a couple new voices, and we love that too. So if you were new a couple weeks ago, don't let that be your only phone call. Call back. We want to hear from you. So short break. We'll see you guys on the other side. We out ya.
Peace.
All right, joining us right now is Raider Kane, sponsored by NFLShop.com. Make sure you go over to PJ4F.com and click on the banner. Everything you purchase through that banner, we get a little piece of the pie. It puts rum on the pirate ship. Need I say more? That's what it's all about. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Raider Kane. How you living this evening, my brother?
Man, I'm living in a state of I don't know what to think right now. That's how I'm living. Kolton Miller was somebody that I did not expect that we would draft in a million years. But then again, after you think about it and you go back and look at John Gruden, and I've been tweeting this out, Matt Stinchcomb. This is what this reminds me of. So
okay.
I hope this turns out better. I hope this turns out better than Matt. Matt Stinchcomb had the height, had the size, he had the skill. He was good in college. They took him, 23?
Yeah.
I believe.
Something like that. Yep.
Something like that. So, hey, here we are back at the Matt Stinchcomb situation. I hope we get a different outcome this time.
Yeah, it was not the sexy pick. When you look at it, I'm seeing right now Vic Tafer tweeted out, Michael Silver tweeted out that the Raiders really wanted to get McGlinchey there at 10, and the Niners stepped up and they picked him. That could have been, a lot of the rumor stuff that had come out this week.
Yeah.
And they were willing to take Kolton Miller at 10 if they couldn't get a trade back. They got a trade back. They got the 3rd and the 5th from Pittsburgh. They flipped the 3rd for Martavis Bryant, and they got Kolton Miller at 15, which was a bit of a reach, in my opinion. I saw him going late in the first round.
They got the 15th, the 3rd, and the 5th from Arizona.
Oh, from Arizona. I said from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, because they
yeah. And then they flipped the 3rd to Pittsburgh. My bad. I'm just talking too fast. So, how do you feel about that, Kane? There was a few players there on the board. The guy you really like, Denzel Ward, he goes early. He gets picked up by Cleveland. Is that correct?
I believe
Well
so.
deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah. He goes early.
Round of applause to Cleveland for finally making 2 good picks in a draft.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Baker Mayfield at 1. I thought for sure that was going to be Sam Darnold, but they like that make and mold of quarterback. Apparently, they got Kaiser, they had Manziel over there. They want a guy that can scamper about and make some plays on the run. So that's their guy, Baker Mayfield. We'll see how it pans out. His upside is way up there, but a lot of people are skeptical of that pick
Baker
too.
Mayfield. I was high on Baker Mayfield. Me personally, I think Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback in the draft. I think he's the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft. Pro-ready.
Well,
I'm not saying that the rest of them aren't pro-ready, but I'm saying Baker Mayfield can start tomorrow. If we was to play the Browns tomorrow, Baker Mayfield will be on the field.
Well, if you're right about that, that's exciting because his brand of play is absolutely exciting. But getting back to Kolton Miller, he's 6'9", he's 305 pounds. I'm looking at Stinchcomb. He's a little bit bigger at 330, shorter at 6'6". He was drafted actually at 18, so the comparison's actually closer than you thought. You were saying 23rd. It's actually closer to 15, so it is a very similar situation. Of course, drafted in 1999, the John Gruden guy. Where I'm at on this really quick is just that left tackle we had a lot of big needs, but left tackle is possibly the most important need that we had. When you look at how much we're paying Derek Carr, the potential of Derek Carr, and keeping him protected. Right now, you got a Donald Penn who's breaking down, likely on the last.
But is it that important? Not to cut you off, but is it that important, though?
Yes, protecting your franchise quarterback is absolutely important.
But I'm saying not speaking in that manner. I'm saying speaking Donald Penn play has not dictated that you need to emergency draft a left tackle.
Right.
When I say emergency, I mean reach for one.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I
you
think,
know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of laying this out right now. So if you just let me lay this out, and then we'll get into that. But I can see where Gruden's going. He wants to protect his quarterback. You don't have a lot of depth there. You have David Sharp, who hasn't proved himself yet. We don't know if he can play right tackle. Didn't take any snaps there last season. You got Giacomini, who's also on the tail end of his career, was a turnstile last year with Houston. And then below that, you got Vidal Alexander, who's had plenty of time, in my opinion, and is still mistakes all over the place, both in technique and false start penalties. And so I see him trying to bolster it. You're not going to get a better tackle after the first round. But now to you, Kane, I'm going to let you rip right here, because just because you can't get a great tackle after the first round doesn't mean you draft an above average tackle in the middle of the first round.
Right.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you with that. I feel like it was better players on the board, and this was absolutely, and everybody that screams BPA. And for those that don't know what BPA stands for, it stands for best player available. We did not take, in my opinion, and I'm sure in a whole lot of other people's opinion, we didn't take the best player available on the board at that time. There were players, and I didn't want to take a linebacker, but Edmonds was on the board. You had James, I believe Derwin James was still on the board, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you could have went in you could have absolutely solidified your more needed positions than reaching. And I mean, when I say reach, I'm talking about Plastic Man type reach. This was not a draft for you to draft a left tackle in the first round. And I understand it was two. It was maybe two good offensive linemen in the first round, or maybe three. Nelson, McGlinchey, and this guy you guys just took. If he was even worth first round draft grade. I'm just so hurt. I could go. I'm rambling because it's the point of the matter I'm trying to make is there was way better players on the board than taking this guy. Like I would have been happy at this point with Derwin James. I would have been happy with Edmonds. I would have been happy with the kid, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, totally. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here, man. He's not going to start. He's not going to beat Donald Penn out. He's not, and in my opinion, I don't think he's going to beat out Sharp either. He may beat out Ware and Alexander, but I think Sharp is going to hold down that right tackle spot this year, just for the simple fact that he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because the Raiders went out and drafted. And I'll go back to when we interviewed Lincoln Kennedy earlier during this football season, and we asked him, do you think we should draft a tackle in the first round? And his answer was no. Let's see what we got with who's on the roster. I'd like to get Lincoln Kennedy. I would like to get his opinion now as to what he thinks about us drafting this guy over taking a Derwin James or a Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah,
So
I tweeted at Lincoln right after the pick. He didn't get back to me. I thought about texting him, but his phone's probably blowing up right now. But I'm right there with you, Kane. That's the first person's opinion I want to know about is Lincoln Kennedy. How does he feel about this? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The best player on my board at that point was Derwin James. That's the guy I wanted. That's the guy I didn't even think was going to get to us. So, to see us trade back and then he fall that far. And then after the fact, the two guys I both wanted, Bradley Chubb and Derwin James, end up with division rivals.
Yeah.
So this pick kind of potentially hurts us on both sides. Now, I'm not going to poo-poo the pick. I think it was a reach. I still think it's a reach. Time will tell. But I'm definitely not excited about it, if that's fair enough to say.
That's very fair.
I'm not going to trash the guy, but I think the point is, and the point everyone's trying to make, is we could have done a lot more right there and sat on that pick. So, still got 11 picks to go. Sorry.
We could have traded back. We could have traded back.
Again.
Taven Bryan was on the board at 15. Like, okay, I already kind of knew. I've been tweeting out for the last couple of weeks like, hey, I think we might trade back with Arizona. Okay, we do that. Now you can either go, okay, let's see who's on the board at 15. Let's not target one certain player. Let's see who's on the board at 15.
Right.
Okay, so you saw who's on the board at 15 and you had a mound of players on the board and you reached way into the bottom of that mound. We'll see, man. We'll see. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't like the pick. I'm not when you had all these other players on the board.
Well,
and yes, Taven Bryan is still on the board, but you can get him in and I always thought he was a second round player anyway. But if you was gonna reach for somebody, reach for something that you need, not something that you could have waited till next year to get, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't know what that draft class looks like, but this was a historically weak class. So just by sheer odds, you got to figure that in 2019 it's going to be a better tackle draft class. You know,
it's true. This is true.
Well, if you wanted to try to put a silver lining on the black cloud, I mean, one way to look at it would be here's Gruden and Reggie McKenzie in lockstep. Reggie McKenzie had the highest paid offensive line in the NFL. Signs Derek Carr a $25 million a year contract. In comes Gruden and says, hey, I want to pound the rock. Let's get some more offensive linemen. And so I guess the one positive to take from this is it looks like Reggie and Gruden are pretty much in lockstep here.
Yeah, it does. And both of those guys value very large offensive linemen. So,
yes.
And he was going to let his position coaches, have input here. I just didn't think that Tom Cable was going to have the biggest input. Now, if Fitzpatrick was available at 10, with Ansley being on the staff, is that the pick? I was shocked to see him go that early. Not that he's not talented. The last couple of weeks I've had a change of heart on Fitzpatrick, but just the fact that I thought he would just fall a little bit further because I thought guys were going to go ahead. I thought Geis was going to go up there.
Well, Fitzpatrick went at 11, so that was after the 10 pick.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Che.
No, I was just commenting that Fitzpatrick actually went after the 10 pick, which the Raiders had before they traded.
Now you're just making me angry.
No, yeah. I mean, look, let me say this, and I'm gonna say something, and you guys gonna go, "Oh shit, you're right." Think back. Now I brought up the stench cone pick with John Gruden. Now let's go back to Tom Cable's history with linemen. Robert Gallery, Kwame Harris. He wanted Kwame Harris from the Niners. We get Kwame Harris. Kwame Harris, I don't even think he ever started. Bruce Campbell in round 4. And then I said Robert Gallery. Look, what's Trent? What's the guy in Seattle that really never panned out. The left tackle was just so-so under Tom Cable's watch.
The one that was making $9 million a year.
Tom Cable hasn't drafted perfect linemen either. So for like I said, I'm until I see progress, productivity from this kid. Welcome to Raider Nation, bro. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know what though? I mean, the negativity is out there. Obviously, Raider Nation is appalled with the pick, I guess, to say the least. Maybe this puts a little chip on this dude's shoulder too, man. I mean, maybe that helps him in some way or another. But it's like you said, it's kind of hard to swallow this pill when you see all the guys that were still on the board.
Yeah.
You still had Edmonds. You still had let's go through them. Derwin James, Jair Alexander,
Rashawn Evans.
You had your boy, right? You had Calvin Ridley was even out there. Rashad Penny was out there who went to the Seattle.
Yeah.
Taven Bryan went at 29 to the Jags. Mike Hughes, cornerback.
Right.
He went to Minnesota. So there's a lot of defense.
Oh, wait a minute. I missed that. Taven Bryan went 29. How did I miss that?
29 to the Jags, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
He went late in the first like I thought, man.
So there's,
oh, my God.
Yeah, and then Darius Geis, who a lot of people thought was going to go in the first, fell out of the first, and instead Rashad Penny gets picked ahead of him. Sonny Mitchell gets picked ahead of him.
Yep.
And my guy Lamar Jackson goes 32nd pick overall. I'm happy to see 5 QBs in the first round. I think I predicted 4. I'm just happy to see Jackson go in the first.
So Baltimore, who traded back into the first round
to get him.
Yep.
So he's a boom or bust guy. I really hope that guy booms because he's an exciting style of play as well.
Booms or bust. You're right. You know what? I thought the Bills of Arizona would take a shot at Lamar Jackson. And I was kind of hoping the Jets. I was kind of hoping the Jets did at number 3, because you know what? I think he's going to shock a lot of people. He might be the second best quarterback in this draft, only because he got wheels. So if his accuracy and he didn't do well in his Wonderlic test, and I believe Charles Woodson didn't have a good Wonderlic test either. So
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Josh Jackson's still going to be on the board tomorrow. I mean, he's a guy, he can play man. He can't really tackle, can't play zone at all. Turnover machine where he was at. Again, Geis is on the board still. Isaiah Oliver's there. Yep. So the second round still to come. We got 2 in the 5th, right? We got 2 or 3 in the 6th, I think now. We can move up a little bit in the back end there. We might move back in the back end. There's a lot of things that can still be done in day 2.
Yeah.
We're not going to be on the air for that, unfortunately. We're going to pick all that up in next week's show, next Thursday's show, and we'll kind of do a full draft recap and give you guys a little bit more detail on their draft profiles. You'll know it by then, but you'll get our spin on it too, and how all this flushes out. So I know people are disappointed. Remember, this is a deep draft. I told you it was going to be wacky, and most certainly is. A lot of guys fell out. We're picking high up in the second round, and hey, day 2, anything can happen. So let's talk about the other side of this, Kane, because we didn't get one player today. We actually picked up 2 players today, right? We traded the 3rd round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Martavis Bryant. So give me your thoughts on Martavis Bryant.
Oh, my God. I think Dante Pettis in the 3rd round would have been better than Martavis Bryant. Anytime a team is willing to trade a young player, they must think it's something. I mean, we'll see. And again, I hate to question everything this coaching staff is doing, but it's pointing to me to the fact that John Gruden still is John Gruden from 1998 as far as his philosophy on players and veterans and rookies. I think now you've seen that with the signing of the majority of the starters or the potential starters on the team are veterans. There isn't really one glowing or one rookie, and not even the one we drafted in the 1st round, going to start. I mean, if it is, correct me, fellas, But am I wrong?
No.
This is a veteran-laden team right now.
When Reggie came in, we got younger, and now you're right. Now that Gruden's come in, we've gotten older, and that is kind of Gruden's thing, and that kind of bit him in the backside in Tampa.
Yeah.
So there is kind of a cause for concern. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
I was so looking forward to, and you guys we've been doing this thing, and I've been screaming, young defense. Let's go with the 2 young corners. Let's get younger so we can take a year to get older. And all we did was take 2 months to get older. And then we haven't drafted a starter in the first round so far, in my opinion. So let's see what we do in the second round. We still need a defensive back.
Hey, Maurice Hurst is still there. Hurst is still there. And
we still need a defensive tackle.
Yeah. So if we can get Hurst in the second round, and we come away with a defensive tackle and offensive tackle, the guy, let's be fair, Kolton Miller's upside, it's pretty high. If this guy pans out, he's a big dude. He's fast. He's got tight end speed, as Kuiper was
saying. Former tight end. So he's got former tight end speed and footwork is what they were saying.
Undertow is dropping knowledge on me right now.
Can he handle Von Miller? Can he handle Joey Bosa? Can
Yeah,
he handle Ingram?
Well, that's the big question, right?
So that's the knock on Kolton Miller. The knock on Kolton Miller is that he does look pensive and nervous against adept pass rushers. And so that's the biggest concern because, like we mentioned earlier, Bradley Chubb falls to the Broncos today. That line only gets stronger. Derwin James now with San Diego. Their blitz package is going to be ridiculous. And you're right, Undertow. I got it backwards. Josh Jackson plays zone, not man. Had he been playing man, good fit for a system. The point remains he can't tackle. But looking at Kolton Miller, there's a lot of upside, but the downside is his breakout season was 2017. He didn't have a breakout season prior to that. Everyone's speechless right now. Everyone's just looking at me.
I'm so shocked. I didn't even do my homework on this. I mean, I did a little bit. I looked at some film, and I watched. I didn't do nothing extensive. I just kind of said, "Oh, guy, he is athletic. He's quick. His feet. He's got good movement. He's got power against college talent.
Yeah,
but can he handle Von Miller, Bosa? I mean, we got Can you now? Mind you, he's going to be going against one of the best tackles, especially if they start him out on the right side. That's where Mac lines up. So if he can hold down the fort with Mac, then he's got a good shot at making it in the NFL. That's his upside right there, is that you practice against one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, and you should learn really quick whether you can make it in this league or not.
So let's flip back to Martavis Bryant. So he's 26 years old. He as far as age goes, he's middle of the road. He's not too young. He's not too old.
Right.
He's going to be a free agent next year. So to keep him under the cap, we might have to do a little bit. But our cap space goes up tremendously next year. I think we can get rid of Seth Roberts next year with little or less dead money at the very least. This is a guy that struggled. Apparently, he's gotten on the right track. He's found religion. As Undertow says, he's found Jesus. He's saved. He's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right.
And now who's going to play slot receiver? That's not a question anymore. You got Bryant, you got Nelson, and you got Cooper out there. So I, for one, think it's a tremendous upgrade with big upside. Now, is he worth a third-round draft pick? I would say not, but it was a second pick. So,
but listen, that's the key, right?
Answer me this, fellas. Is there somebody better in the third round? This is how you, in my opinion, as a GM, how I would go about whether I make this trade or not. Do I see anybody on my board better in the third round that might be there better than Mark? And obviously Reggie McKenzie or Gruden or Grugy, whatever you want to call them, they didn't see that because they traded for him. But in my opinion, there was better. There is better. Let me get y'all opinions on that, because that was a shocker to me. That really was I didn't see that coming.
So let me just make a comment on this, because I know you were high on Dante Pettis. You were mentioning that you feel that's a better choice than taking Martavis Bryant with the third pick. But we have to take into account that that's a second, third round pick that we traded away. We still have a third round pick. We didn't give away our third round pick. We gave away the pick that we got from Arizona.
That's what I'm saying.
So we still we're still picking 11 in the third round. If you're really high on this guy, and if they see the same potential and he's there, that doesn't mean that they can't still take him. You know, so that's the one saving grace. You gave away a pick that you got from another team. You didn't give away your own pick in the third round.
Yeah. And here you got a guy for in 2017, 50 receptions, 2015, 50 receptions, over 765 yards in 2015, and that's in 11 games. This guy projects out to be possibly a 1,000-yard wide receiver if he's given enough looks. I personally really like the signing. How long he stays around remains to be seen, but it alleviates Seth Roberts. It adds more weapons to Derek Carr. And like you said, we still have the third-round pick. The other thing is this guy scored touchdowns on kick returns as well. So now you got a special teams player. That's versatility. That's John Gruden's favorite thing in a player. I don't care who you are. If you could play multiple positions, you have a much better chance of fielding a position on John Gruden's squad. And I think that makes a lot of sense here. So at the very least, to steal your quote, to put a silver lining on this black cloud is you got a guy, Kolton Miller, that fills a need. It's a stretch. It's an early pick, and early by maybe 1 year, as Kane was saying. But you also got a guy like Martavis Bryant that bolsters a wide receiver core that had holes in it, and you still have 11 picks to go with a lot of talent still on the board sitting there for you in the second round. So I know everybody's kind of like upset right now, but let's not get over our skis because this isn't over yet.
Yeah. And I think with Martavis Bryant, you really got to look at who else do we have on staff besides Jordy Nelson and Amari Cooper. Is he an upgrade based off of the other guys that we have on the team? That's an absolute yes. It's an absolute yes. The upside to Martavis Bryant is way more than a Seth Roberts or even a Johnny Holton. Come on now, let's be real.
Yeah,
let's be real. These guys.
Yes,
I've been waiting for these guys to get cut. So let's be honest about that. We upgraded what we currently have, and we still have the picks to pick up other guys that are going to come cheap with a lot of high potential, man.
I think it was 20 free agents before today, and now we got 2 players today. So that's 22 players that Gruden has hand-stamped on this team. 53 make the roster.
Right.
He's overturned half the roster.
Yeah. And we got 11 more to go. So it's going to be 33 by the end of the weekend that we've already picked up this offseason. That's a lot of bodies in camp.
Right.
But you know what, though? Let's slow down with that. Yeah, he's brought in a lot of bodies. That don't mean everybody's going to make that team. Just because they got signed as a free agent, he's bringing in, in my opinion, and if you got to go back to 1998, 1999 when we was trying to build a championship squad, we brought a lot of players in who thought might just. But they really didn't. They was just brought in for competition. And then the real cream of the crop rose to the top. So let's just slow our horses here. Yes, that there's been a lot of movement and a lot of signing, a lot of transactions that has happened, but we still got the defense hasn't really been plucked like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we've brought in some players, but nothing that said, "Oh, this person gonna beat this person out, or this person gonna start." We've only got through the first round of the draft. I still want to see, because I don't feel comfortable going into the season with a Tahir Whitehead and even the guy we signed. I'm having a brain fart right now. I can't think of his name. Rashad Melvin. Is that his name? The cornerback.
Yes. Corner from the Colts.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable going into a season with these players starting. I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's see what we do in the coming months here after June 1 cuts, the mini camps, training camp cuts, until we say that there's been a lot of turnover rather than more so there's been competition.
Right.
You got to now earn your position.
And that's what we were just saying. I don't think Che was alluding to the fact that all these guys were going to make the squad. I think he's just saying we're bringing in numbers, and now you get a pick of the litter.
But I think also what you commented, Kane, is part of what we're saying too. You're saying that he brought in all these guys in the past, and none of those guys that he brought in were necessarily the guy, but the cream rose to the top. So competition causes that. If you don't have the competition, then you're not going to see that from guys. If they're not challenged, they're not pushed by somebody else. If you're the guy that's already on the team that's supposed to be the starter, and you see guys being brought on, and you're like, wait a minute, they play my position.
Yeah.
That gives you motivation to say, oh, fuck that. I'm going to show you that I'm the guy. And that's exactly what we want, right? So at the end of the day, we want we want those guys. We want that push. We want that motivation. And so if you're bringing in all these guys, maybe they're not the guy, but maybe they make the guy become the guy.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Exactly. No, you're 100% correct. Where you know what? And you're 100% right. And to tag on to what you just said, the last couple of years, we haven't done that. We've just, whoever we drafted, they all made the team. We secretly, underneath our eyes, we've built a team of young players, and it just hasn't, for whatever reason, it's not worked out with the coaching staff or whoever the coaches was. If they didn't marinate the dudes right and coach them up right and get them to the point where we good. So now we are in Gruden's era, and now Gruden has said, look, okay, thank you, Reggie. You tried to make the team young. No, we need to bring in some veterans to make these guys work, because all they was doing was giving really positions. If you look back at the last 3 years, because like Jack Del Rio was quoted in saying, when you got undrafted free agents and street free agents making a team, you don't have depth. So, this is an example of depth.
Well, Kane,
now, like I said,
Kane,
is everybody going to make the roster? No, I doubt it.
Nope.
But go ahead, you guys.
Well, no, I was just going to say that exact same thing. Is this roster has lacked depth for a while, so this ain't going to be the only year you're going to see some change.
Right.
Next year, you're going to see some turnover, too.
Yeah, especially next year when we got a full bankroll to play with. We're just getting started right now. But you're absolutely going to see Melvin start this year. You got Conley, and then, I'd rather see Melvin out there than Dexter McDonald. Go look up at Melvin's stats. He's played well. That's a solid corner. There was a lot of guys that were very impressed by the value that we got out of that, especially the prices that were being paid for corners just 3 days before that.
Exactly.
Tyre Whitehead's actually a pretty solid linebacker. He's going to do well for us. And these guys are going to be rotational. That means the squad stays fresh. That means you get to rotate guys in like James and keep him fresh, because you saw what happened to him last year.
Right.
You get to keep a guy like Lee fresh. You get to keep a guy like Morrow fresh. It's just going to be rotating in and out. Now, we still lacking a middle linebacker, so, let's try to get Bowman in here. I'm feeling a lot less optimistic about that right now.
Whitehead,
Tyre Whitehead.
Jermaine Edmonds.
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, that remains to be seen, right?
Hard to tell.
But, I mean, at the same time, would you rather have your bookend tackles be Vidal Alexander and Giacomini protecting Derek Carr? So
hell no.
It's a tight pinch. You didn't have no tackles available on free agency, and there's no depth there on your squad. So push comes to shove, you got to do something. You just can't draft another middle-of-the-road guy in the 5th round and throw him back at that offensive line.
Now, Giacomini
But Kane's intent on arguing with me about something that I actually agree with him with. We get your point, Kane. We've heard it. You're going to keep arguing with me. I'm not arguing with you.
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm just like, that was a good. That was good comeback. Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? These are the play. It is what it is, as they say, and that's a saying that I hate, but it is what it is at this point. Yes, there was talent there. Yes, we're all disappointed, but it is what it is at this point, and it's not over. So I kind of feel like we're going to start going in circles here. We've covered it. Free agency was a bit lackluster. We maybe got value there. The first round was a big lackluster, but maybe we get surprised there. Martavis Bryant also, question marks. A lot of people are really up about it. A lot of people are really upset about it. So we'll see about that right there. There's a lot of question marks surrounding the silver and black right now. But at the same time, there's a lot of bodies. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of potential right there. And they're about to go through the Gruden grinder.
Yeah.
And what comes out the other side, potentially a playoff team. So we'll see. We've seen Gruden do a lot with less before, Yeah, Toby, you got to take the headphones up before you walk away. They're not wireless. But no, I appreciate that. I think that, Kane, I think you're the voice of Raider Nation right now. I think a lot of what you're feeling is the same as what we're feeling, and it's a lot the same of what Twitter's feeling out there. But at the same time, it's Raider Nation. We got to roll with it. We can be critical. We're supposed to be critical. A good fan is critical. A tuned-in fan is critical. They're informed. They're intelligent. They're educated. But, we got to roll with their squad at this point. So, just fingers crossed, and let's see what comes out the other side. You got Tom Cable. If he likes the guy and he sees something he can work with, then I got to trust my coaching staff at this point.
Yeah. No, I'm behind that, man. I mean, at this point, we can bitch and moan and complain about it all we want, but the pick is in, man. We can't go back. We can't change it.
Nope.
There's nothing that's going to change what we got. We got Kolton Miller. And we got Martavis Bryant basically in the first round.
So I'm going to put a ball on this right here and say, as shocked as you were with this first round pick, let's hope to be shocked on day 2 that a talent falls to us we didn't think would be there.
There you go.
I, for one, would really like to see.
If you had to say a name, give me a name.
I would really like to see Maurice Hurst end up on this defensive line day 2 of the draft. That's the guy that I want to see fall to the Oakland Raiders on day 2. And if we, that's
what
the guy I
want.
want.
What about you, Che? Give me a name, Che.
You know what, man? A name that comes to mind is Isaiah Oliver, cornerback. Obviously, we have a need there.
It'd be a great pick. What about you, Kane? Who's your second round gem? Who's the guy that's still on the board there that you want to pick up?
I'm gonna have to say. Oh, man.
Is it Darius Geis?
No, Anthony Avery.
Anthony Avery in the second.
Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you pick him at 9 in the second round, or would you trade back to get him?
I would trade back. He's going to be there if you trade back.
Okay. So Anthony Avery, but Isaiah Oliver's still there, ranked higher than he is.
He's still there.
I think all 3 of those picks are good. I'd be happy with Oliver. Avery, if we get him a little bit later, I'd be intrigued by that. Maurice Hurst, I'd be ecstatic.
And there's still that guy, the guy out of Texas, linebacker out of Texas that you were big on too, Kane, Malik Jackson, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might even fall even further.
Yeah.
Also, there's another guy who we might be interested in taking. Named Darius Geis in the second round. I mean, he's there.
Yep.
So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting day. I think this whole weekend is going to be very, very interesting because we got a lot of picks.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you a call probably on Saturday and just chat you up, and we'll really dig into this and see how it all washes out. But what are you doing this weekend, bud?
Draft.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm doing the draft all weekend. I'm gonna try to catch. You know what's funny is I bought tickets to the Avengers for tonight. 9:30 show, and then I was like, you know what? I got to do the pod. In the draft. I'm tripping. What was I thinking? You know what I mean? So I had to go online today. I had to go online today and cancel my tickets for the Avengers. So I got 2 paid 4 tickets to the Avengers movie, so I'll probably hit that up one of these days before Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I was excited. I'm excited about that movie. I want to see what's the connection with the Black Panther and the Avenger connection.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be about Wakanda.
Okay, cool. And you got the Guardians of the Galaxy in the mix too, which would be fun.
Everybody's coming together.
Exactly. Yeah, it's supposed to be good. You guys into the Avenger movies or what?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
The Wonder Woman movies.
There you go.
The Marvel film I actually just watched that I was behind on was Deadpool. I just got to see that. I hadn't seen that yet. That was fantastic.
They're supposed to come out with X-Force.
Okay.
X-Force is the next one coming up, which has Deadpool in it, and then
and Deadpool 2.
I just saw a trailer or a little sneak peek of Venom.
Venom looks great.
Yeah,
that looks fantastic. And I'm big.
Yeah, that does look really good. Yeah.
The show I'm into right now is Westworld. That's what I've been watching. I'm trying to get caught up so I can watch season 2. I haven't never seen season 1, so I started it last night. It's pretty fantastic. It's pretty good.
So what's your favorite syndicated? What's your favorite show on regular TV, not cable? 2, 4, 5, 7, and what's that? 2, 4, 5, and 7. Give me a show.
Give you my show. Dang, I mean, I don't watch regular TV. I watch like the local news.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, I don't really get into like sitcoms or anything like that.
You know what's good?
Roseanne.
I don't watch Roseanne.
You know what? I started watching Roseanne, but you know what's cool, man? You guys gotta check it out if you haven't already. The Last OG, man, with Tracy Morgan.
Oh, I do have to see that.
The Last OG is off the hook. That's on my DVR.
Yeah,
is that what station?
TBS.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I gotta see that.
That's the shit right there.
Yeah, I like Tracy Morgan. Good pull.
Yeah,
He's hilarious, man.
the last episode was good too. Yeah, it's been good.
Hustle Man.
Yeah, Hustle Man,
Hustle
bro.
Man.
It's my boy.
Yeah,
Hustle Man made a little appearance on our Twitter timeline last week.
He did.
Yeah, shout out to Che for that one. You're real for that. Well, cool, man. Any burger spots you want to recommend before we get off the air this week, King?
Hey, you know what? On the real, I'm not gonna recommend a burger spot, but I'm finna tell y'all about a spot. If you want some southern cooking to take you back to Louisiana,
come to your house.
Down like no, I'm talking about. And you know what? It choked the shit out of me too, because when I was eating there, I felt like I was in because I live in the Bay Area, so it took me back to the South.
Wow.
But the city that I was in, I was like, damn, are we in Oakland? Because this restaurant can only be in Oakland or in Louisiana. But this restaurant is in Concord. And
wow.
It's called Nola Po' Boy Sandwiches.
Ooh, that already sounds good.
But you know what? To hear it, you would think it's just a regular fly-by. No, it's a soul food. It's not even soul food. It's like Southern. If you've been to New Orleans and to the South and you ate that cuisine out there, it's that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the catfish was off the chain. I had the catfish. I had half a bowl of gumbo, sausage, shrimp, and chicken gumbo. Man, it was off the hook.
That sounds
fire.
fire.
When I ate it, my folks was like, "Oh, you didn't even take a picture for your blog." I was like, "Oh man, I'm tripping. I sure didn't. I just mashed on it when it came. I just mashed on it." So I'm telling you, that was off the hook. So I had that last weekend. It was good. I was like, "Yeah, I'm a." And I told the chick when I was leaving, because she don't know, but I was like, she don't know that we got a few people that listen to us every week. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to tell my podcast about this place. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, okay. Kind of like shrugged it off like, yeah, you don't know. I got a few, we got a few people that tune in every week. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to shout out to Nola Po' Boy Sandwiches in Concord on Willow Pass Road. If you ever out there and you want to just drop in and have a good bite to eat, that's the place to go right there. And it's a little hidden gem, too. It's not even like in the strip, like where everything is. It's just a little hidden gem, and kind of like what hood in Concord they have, what little bit of a hood they have.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Damn.
That's where it's at.
I didn't even know Concord had it, but next time I usually see about one concert a summer out in Concord, so that'll be my pregame meal. So good looking out. I have a burger recommendation for all of you.
Shoot.
So on 420, I went on a little hike. I was out there in Big Sur. I was with my lady and some of our friends, and we hiked this place called the Buzzard's Roost. It looked really short on the map. I'll just say that. I did not know
it was all uphill though, bro.
It was a 1,000-foot elevation change. It was Switchback City. So we got down the hill. We were hungry, needless to say. We're coming back up Highway 1, and we hit up this place called Nepenthe. Apparently this place is world famous. I'd never heard of it, but immediately as I walked up out onto the porch, I knew why, because it's perched right over the ocean. I mean, you're right there. Some places have an ocean view. This is like the most majestic ocean view I've ever seen at a restaurant. It's nestled in the Big Sur Hills right there, just south of Monterey, Carmel, California. And they have a burger there that they're famous for called the Ambrosia Burger. And I'll just say this. It is straightforward. There's nothing fancy about this burger. It's got an ambrosia sauce. It's not fruit salad. I know that's what they call ambrosia, but I'm not quite sure what the sauce is. I'm gonna have to do a little digging around. It was very creamy. It's on like a French roll, just straightforward, but cooked perfectly, seasoned perfectly, and just umptuous in the mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're ever out there in that area, go take yourself a hike up Buzzard's Roost. That sounds more menacing now in hindsight that I got up there. The view up there was incredible too.
Did you say Buzzard's Roost?
Yeah, that was the name of the hike. Yeah, because when you get to the top, it's literally like this roost. It oversees the entire the coastal coast side right there.
Hike up Buzzard's Roost.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's good stuff, though.
But on that note, man, it's always good having you on. You always make me hungry when you come on the show. And put a big smile on my face, so I appreciate that. That must mean you're family, Kane.
Most definitely.
Man, we family, man. We all family, man. This is the hey, shout out to the forefather of the Pillaging Silver and Black 666 in the house.
That's it.
Can we get a round of applause?
Thank you. Golf clap.
Why don't you say something for the people, Silver and Black 666?
Go Gruden. I'm going to stay positive.
There you go.
I'm going to try.
We got to stay positive.
Well, all right, brother.
It's always good talking to y'all fellas, man. I'll holler at y'all next week, man.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man.
All right, brother.
All right, Kane.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out, man.
Peace.
Yeah, it was good. That was exactly what we needed. I think that's what Raider fan needed. Live vicariously through Kane. He gets it out for you. Get the poison out. And I know. I mean, we all feel the same way. I think he puts it really well, though, and I think you can hear you can hear the emotion, you can hear the fire, the passion in the voice. I don't need to explain it to you. It's self-explanatory.
But you know what? Sometimes that's all you need. You need to get it out. You need to shout it out.
Yep.
And then you're feeling better.
Yep.
And hopefully everybody in the nation can go to sleep a little bit more content.
Yeah.
Tonight.
So you're gonna wake up tomorrow morning. You're gonna have slept on this. And you're going to pop in the Pillaging podcast like it's a tape deck, like people are listening.
Right.
What if you had to put podcasts out on tape? That never would have worked, huh?
Wouldn't have worked.
Tell them about the trunk or what? Just tell them about the trunk?
Yeah.
This is my podcast. Check it out.
How about when people were first putting music on the internet? My friend pointed this out last week. They're like, dude, if you told somebody you had your music online in 1997, they would have thought your shit was whack, bro. Like, why is your album on the internet, dog? Nobody's listening to that. Imagine that. Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
So that's where. Are you all right over there?
Yeah, no. I had a little static in my headphones.
So
it's all good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I heard it.
So yeah, man, let's do some shout outs.
Shout outs.
Let's shout it out. Shout out to Robert Half. Shout out to Cordell Richmond. Shout out to Anthony Ab Scroll, Edward Ariza, Raider Dread, Ronald Coggins, Liberal Raider 126. Shout out to Nurse Aaron, Night Watch Raider, Feminista Ace 562, Jeff Borchardt, Jerry Baker, P with a capital P, Izzy 805, Mr. Dugan, Mitchell Fry, Martha Arenas, Raider Michael, Raider 3524, Dem Raiders 21, Dan New York Raider, 2011 Nathan Horton fan account. That's what's up. John Ranieri. Shout out to Evil Jester. Shout out Marcus Kegley, Alex Hameen, I can't pronounce that. Deanna D, Jenny Lynn. By the way, Jenny Lynn's going to be doing a podcast with my friend Andrea Dolan or Angria Trask. Sorry, I put her government out there. I think it's okay. It's on her articles. Angria Trask. They're going to be coming out with a podcast called Just Win, ladies.
Nice.
And it's going to be an all-female Raider Nation podcast.
I like it.
I've really pushed Andrea to do this. I felt like she wanted to, and she wanted to do a podcast, and I thought this was a good hook. And I want to say it was my idea, but her and I teased it out, and this was some while ago, and a lot of props for her for just going out there and getting it done and finding herself a host. So I don't know much about Jenny Lynn, but I've heard good things. We're following her on Twitter. She's entertaining to follow. So make sure you follow Jenny Lynn, and we'll have Andrea on the show before that show drops so you can hear about it. And hey guys, maybe you want to listen to some girls talk about it, which you should, but also this can provide like an excellent window for females that are looking to get into the Raider Nation. Maybe your wife or your girlfriend wants to know more about it, and maybe they prefer listening to a couple ladies instead of a room full of meatheads like us. That'll work too. And you know, at the same time, maybe you have your ladies are already big sports fans, are already big Raider fans. It's just one more podcast out there for all of us from Raider Nation. Like I said, it's not competition, it's community, and that's where we're at. So shout out to you, Jenny Lynn, Omar Medina, Sean, GR136, and Shannon Jones, another lady out there in Raider Nation, a wife of one of our pillagers that listen already. So
there you go.
There's that point right there. What do you got?
I got some IG shout outs. Some of the guys that I missed last week and ladies. We got Raider Ghoul, Joe Daddy 7511, Slam White, Raider Toops. When I saw that, I automatically thought to Yasasopo. RN Dub C San Diego, the Raider Nation Wrecking Crew San Diego.
Yeah.
We got ACal 11, Jones Style.
Dope.
We got Benito's 42, Raider World, Lee Richard 20, Kev 714, Zach Kreischer, Raiders Fan Radio.
Yes, sir.
And my boy Medium Brer. My former roommate in college.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. And by the way, Raiders Fan Radio, thanks for following us on IG. I just want to let you guys know, those of you that listen to both shows, if you haven't gone back to listen to the last episode of Raiders Fan Radio, just a plug for them. Sonny's back. The team is back. Sonny and Murph are reunited, and it feels so good. That's your cue.
And it feels so good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to them. Make sure you check them out. I'm going to get those guys on this show here eventually. We got a long summer in front of us. As Che alluded to, I got a new job, so things have been quite hectic lately.
Yes, it is.
My days are long. I worked 10 hour yesterday. I got off a little early today. Snuck out of there. Actually, that's not true. I had permission. But my schedule could be changing, which means the schedule of the show could be changing. There's a possibility the show moves to a new date and time, but stay tuned. We will tell you about that. It will be a good date and time. The alternative we have picked out right now, I think you're really going to like it. In fact, I think it might be an improvement. But we appreciate you guys, everybody that joined the YouTube stream. I see you guys. I think the chat crapped out. So we were going to do an
Is that what happened?
Yeah, we were going to do an ICU segment, but
I see you.
As YouTube often does, it glitched out. So
we saw you though. We saw you.
We saw you. And Chase still with the theme music, so you got that. So you're not missing out on that. And as always, that's what for this week's show. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air. 408-909-PJFF. Get dipped in your pillaging gear. Head over to pj4f.com/shop. Download the official pillaging app available for iOS and Android. And if you don't want to do that, we're available wherever podcasts are sold. I recommend you get the app. We're going to have some bonus content coming to that in the coming season. And as always, I'm Kenny Stapler, joined by
your boy Che.
And we out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Yeah.